I know negativity sells, but dude, it just sucks to listen to. It's going to be all about the gifts that he was given. Does Kitchen win last week? If the entire class doesn't grenade and cartwheel through the California night sky, the only reason that these media guys and goons in the comments can even give you 4 hating on the kid is that he's overhyped. Did that look like a kid that thought he should win his first Supercross race? Or did it look like a kid that completely shocked himself by getting a top 5? Newsflash, jackass! You are the hype. What has this kid ever done to hype himself up? Show me the clip and I'll take it all back. All he's ever done is worked his ass off, won a bunch of races through the amateur ranks, and that hurts your feelings. Enjoy hiding in your little cave, praying to God that he washes the front out in Tampa. Because if he doesn't, man, it's going to start getting really dark for you.
Thoughts on Chance's ride? Rylan, I kind of hate that Deegan did so well. Saucy Dad said Deegan hasn't lost to Hymus yet in the handful of motos they've raced together, and he's a full year behind him. Cool. That's cool.
Oh, what's going on, boys? What a night. What a night indeed. Coming to you guys 2 hours removed from the end of Houston round, the 2023 Supercross season, round 5. Man, what a night. What a night. 450 class was crazy. Hopefully Ferrandis is all right. Judging by him getting up, I think he's probably good. Probably just a gnarly concussion, which is not great. But yeah, better than what could have been, for sure. But what a night. I mean, 250 class, right? That's really the storyline. I don't remember, Ricky and Daniel Blair touched on it a little bit, but I don't remember the last time that many capable rookies took the gate. I definitely don't remember that many capable rookies taking the gate and having the day that they all had. All of them. A couple of them missed the main. No big deal. First time. Huge learning experience. But Chance, Talon, Mr. Deegs, Vial, they all killed it. Killed it. Great heat races, decent starts. For Chance, Talon, and Haiden to get every lap in the main, that's impressive, dude. As long as that whoop section was and as notchy as they got, that was gnarly. That was gnarly. What a save by Deegan in the whoops, too. I thought we were watching it all go up in flames, and he saved it. That was a close one. So yeah, congrats to all those kids, man. I think, like Ricky said in the post show, it's only going to get better. They're all going to get better every week. I definitely believe that. So I just want to cover a couple things. All right. I want to cover a couple things, mainly because the guys that you normally watch that have been just sharding all over Deegan since the Futures race last week, they're going to all be in hiding for the next 5 or 6 days, praying that he washes out the front or something goes wrong in Tampa so they can make some more content and, get the clickbait game going strong. Listen, I'm trying to build a new channel here. I'm going to use it too. But I want to see everybody succeed. I guess that's the difference between me and some of these just goons. I just don't get it. You're a goon to me. If you want to see a 16-year-old kid fail, well, he just turned 17. If you want to see any kid fail at something they have dedicated their whole life to, in this world that we live in, showing the amount of discipline they show, work ethic, drive, you name it. If you want to wish badly upon them, we got nothing in common. If you're going to cheer for their failures, we got nothing in common. Nothing. I watched the interviews, right? Swap Moto caught Deegan. It looked like the second he took his helmet and jersey off, the heart rate was still at 200. Like he was still way up there. And he was hyped, you know? The first thing he said was, so many people hate on me, and it was just so exciting to go out there and hit every lap, and it was gnarly, and you could just see how he shocked himself for one, definitely shocked himself. A lot of these guys, like he said, he's been watching since he started riding, which was only 10 years ago, by the way. Not like some of these kids that he was on a 50 at 3 years old. He started riding at 7 years old. 10 years later, 4th place in his first ever Supercross main. Yeah, a couple guys went down. Made mistakes. It's funny how when that happens to somebody, it's one thing. When it happens to him, it's a completely different thing, right? Well, they just made a silly mistake. They're still better. Versus if it was him, well, he just made another mistake and he doesn't have it. He'll never have it. Way overhyped. Gonna touch on that in a second. But the interviews told me so much. The kid is super proud of himself, gained a ton of confidence. Regardless of what anybody else thinks, he showed himself all day long, all weekend long. He's right where he belongs. He's there a year early. Was not supposed to go to the pros until next year, 2024. They let him go a year early. Why? Well, because he sets the fastest lap out of the entire star team at the farm on a regular occasion. Go look at those names for me real quick. That was just super dope to see. Chance, same thing. Chance, super down-to-earth kid. I just couldn't believe it. He looked like a seasoned vet. Chance looked really good in the whoops. I think the little bit of height advantage that he has, kind of like Dax, they just look really good in the whoops. Talon put together a heck of a day. Talon, I could listen to that kid talk for 24 hours straight. His energy, that kid's energy is so infectious, man. He's kind of like a different version of AP, you know? Just so happy to just be alive, to just be there. I think that is the greatest mindset you could possibly have. But the reality is, out of everybody there, the most pressure was on one 17-year-old kid. You can't deny that. The media this week, everything leading up to it, all the winning all these years, the massive following. There's one kid that had an insane amount of pressure. Nobody else's family was interviewed pre-race. There's a reason for that, man. I mean, his dad is a legend. His sister races NASCAR. You know, I would say it's well-deserved. But nonetheless, he had to either put up or deal with it for another week and then go to the gate in Tampa with those same question marks and self-doubt. He just killed all that. Not for anybody else. Screw what anybody else thinks. He killed all that for himself up here. That leads me to the Tom VL. Go watch those interviews, man. Go watch Tom Vial's interviews and Deegan's interviews. Deegan can't even breathe. He's so hyped, so excited and proud of himself. Why? He's never done this before. This is all brand new to him. No matter what pedestal people put him on or what overhyped narrative people want to run with, the fact is the kid has never done it before. He is an amateur turning pro right now. He has no idea what any of this is all about. He has watched it his whole life, which kind of adds to the anxiety. He's getting on the gate with Jeremy Martin and the Lawrences and Smitty and but you could see it in the interviews. VL was like, no, it was really exciting. I got the whole shot. I led a couple laps, felt really good. And I think he just missed his break in where he went down there. But I mean, he looked incredible. The amount of comments that I have seen saying he better not beat Deegan. There's no way he should beat Deegan. What are you talking about? Forget Supercross experience. I'll get to that in a second. Forget Supercross experience. This dude is a 2-time world MXGP champion. He's been under the pressure. He's been under the lights. Oh, and also, he is 22. He's 22. He's in a man's body. Give Haiden 5 more years to physically mature. That's a big deal, man. Moto takes so much strength. Endurance, yes, but completely separate and equally as important, physical strength. 22 and 17 are very, very different things. And Hayden's not at the end of 17. He was 16 a week and a half ago. He's still very much a teenager. physical maturity, there is a huge gap between him and VL, right? Let's talk about the 250. Just seat time. Forget what kind of track you're on. Seat time. VL has been on a 250 for 5, maybe 6 years? Dude, Deegan has done 1 Loretta's on a 250. 1. The one before that, he was on a Super Mini. This is his second full year on the 250, on a big bike. Do you know how, like, that's huge. Just, I don't know, man. Anyways, so that whole comparison, I think, is super unfair. Are they both rookies? Yes, you're right, Karen. They are both rookies, absolutely. But for one, people want to act like Hayden's been riding Supercross since he came out of the womb. I just told you, he started riding when he was 7 years old. The Supercross tracks that his dad built for him were for a 65, an 85, like super, super tamed down. It was basically just to teach him really early on and to help him practice throughout his career, timing, blah, 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 not just launching huge tables and step ups and stuff like that. To teach timing, to get used to that, the feel for that. But whoops, I mean, anybody that watched him when he first got to the farm, he was riding around the whoops for I don't even know how long, the first month maybe. He wouldn't hit him. Training on a fully built professional Supercross track at the pro level, him and Tom VL, sit down, have the same amount of time doing that. The same amount of time. Haiden has definitely ridden Supercross tracks more than him. Not on a 250. On a 250, I would argue, they have about the same exact amount of time on a Supercross track. Everything Hayden's been doing has been outdoors. Every amateur race, it's all outdoors. I don't know. I just, a lot of the comparisons and a lot of the expectations are completely unfair. Big, big difference. Vial has been there. He's experienced it. You could just see mentally they are worlds apart. Worlds apart. The reason why a lot of these people hate on the kid, he's overhyped. That's the number one thing you're going to see from people like this guy, comment sections on Instagram. He's overhyped. Way overhyped. Way overhyped. Way overhyped. Okay. Can we sit back for 1 second before you wish poorly on a 16-year-old kid? I keep saying 16. On a 17-year-old kid. Before you wish poorly on a 17-year-old kid because he's overhyped, can we just take a step back and talk about where that hype comes from? The hype comes from him winning a bunch of amateur races and then the comments section. The hype comes from you, sir. The hype comes from the Pulp Show. The hype comes from Weege. The hype comes from all the comment sections. You are the hype. You are the hype. He doesn't... Did that look like a kid that thought he should finish 4th or win? Did that look like a kid that thought he should win his first Supercross race? Or did it look like a kid that completely shocked himself by getting a top 5? What you tell me. Go watch all the interviews that he did with all the media guys. You tell me. You are the hype. He's not... He doesn't buy into that. Literally does not have the Instagram app on his phone. I thought that was really funny that he told everybody that. Kind of bummed out because I do get a lot of joy from watching these goons just tell this kid what he should be doing from their couch. But whatever. But you are the hype, sir. So I think it's really funny and really sad. And to give this guy credit, I did leave some things out. I took a lot of those clips out of context, admittedly. He did at the beginning say, good for him. He earned it. Good on the kid, you know? But you know how somebody can say something and then say something completely different with their face and tone of voice? That's what happened. He, as you heard, the truth eventually spills out. I just wish he wouldn't have done so well. Really? That's crazy. That's crazy. This kid that has done nothing but from 7 to 17 years old. From 7 to 17 years old. I'm not about to tell you on camera what I was doing for those 10 years. You? Are you going to? I'm not. I'm not. This kid that has completely dedicated himself to this discipline, diet, exercise, the grind, recovering from injuries, taking all the heat, always mobbed. You heard Jordan Smith in the press conference after the race. I didn't have many people ask for my autograph, but our pit was mobbed from people looking for Hayden's autograph. You know, Mathis said, is he going to make a big difference in the sport viewing wise? No, he's not. Be real. Okay. I mean, can you go tell me when the last time A2 sold out was? Give me the year. A1, sure. A2? You heard all the 450 guys. It was crazy to have A2 sold out. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Everybody's like, well, San Diego was sold out. He wasn't there. San Diego holds over 10,000 people less than Anaheim does. But you're right. You are technically correct. It was sold out. It's not all because of him, but it definitely makes a difference. Go look at the autograph lines, bro. He's dealing with things that some of these other kids just don't have to deal with. I would love to know the count. How many autographs did Deegs, Hymas, and Hawkins, amongst the others, have to sign throughout the day? How many fans did they have to take pictures with and interact with throughout the day? I'm not saying that like it's a burden or a bad thing. He is blessed to be in the position he's in. That goes without saying. But the fact is he has to deal with that. He has to manage that at 17 years old. Yeah, I don't know. You are the hype. You are the hype, and he's just trying to do something that he loves. He's trying to achieve his own goals. Unfortunately, I know you're not going to enjoy hearing this, and you may not believe it, but your expectations, your bar for him, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter in the real world. It doesn't matter to him. It doesn't matter to his family. Definitely doesn't matter to Star. I can promise you that. They don't care what you think, Karen. They just don't. I definitely don't. It just kind of grinds my gears because I'm a dad. I have a 13, I have a 12, and I have a 9-year-old. Grinds my gears, in the words of the great Peter Griffin, to see these grown men genuinely upset that this kid went out and did so well. Absolutely blows my mind. Blows my mind, man. So, yeah, the haters are going to be they're going to be in hiding. They're going to all crawl into their cave and just pray that he washes the front in Tampa so that they can come back out and celebrate, have a party in the comment sections. So just wait for it, okay? They're not gone. They're just hiding around the corner for a minute and peeking and just waiting. Just waiting, you know? And finally, last thing I want to go over here is this. He specifically said he didn't take Haiden or Justin Cooper because he didn't want to have a bunch of flight risks on his fantasy team. I see that comment almost as much as the overhype comment. I mean, it's everywhere. Go look at all of the posts about Haiden. He's going to ride over his head and crash. He's going to wad himself. He's going to ride over his head and wreck. He's going to crash. He's going to crash. Dude, look at his body of work. Can we talk about what this tag came from? Let's just skip all the years of dominating in his amateur classes. Okay, let's just skip all that. Let's just get to recently. Combine at Redbud. His first time ever racing against the A class. First time ever racing against the A class. He was a B rider. Wins the first moto by 30 seconds, second one by 24 seconds. No competition. Well, I'm pretty sure Chance Hymas was in there. Pretty sure Talon Hawkins, Dax Bennick. I'm pretty sure Casey Cochran, who was on a 125. One of the greatest rides I've ever seen in my life. Huge Casey Cochran fan. He's going to be a problem. Mark my words. But 30 seconds and 24 seconds, I don't care if you fell. Reverse those roles. Let Chance get in the lead by the third, second straightaway and have it be Deegan that fell. Are you going to look at me and say he loses by 30 seconds? I would bet you literally everything I own that is not the case. I would bet you literally, and you guys know this, anybody that's still in this video, for one, you're not one of the people I'm talking about, unfortunately. They don't want to hear it. They have their mind made up. It is what it is. They know it all. So, people like, dude, this Cooksey guy, what's going on? Like, I know I'm no Prince Charming, but that man, yeah. Anyways, a lot of people. He's just like I think that's his whole angle, is he just wants to be the ding dong that kind of like Bam Bam, If it wasn't for sawing off front wheels, he really wouldn't be relevant, He wins a race every season or two. He really wouldn't. He'd be as relevant as Marvin, basically. Marvin's been gone for 2 weeks. I haven't even heard his name. But same idea, They got to hate. They got to be controversial and try to go against all of his fans and the following to try to get all the engagement. Because it doesn't matter. YouTube doesn't know if they're hating you or loving you in the comments. All they know is that you got comments. So, unfortunately, they're going to grow a lot faster than I will. But that's okay. I'm me. I'm going to stay true to me. I have lived in this sport my entire life. I grew up with a Haiden Deegan. Different face, different name, different body. Exact same story. Did not go as well once we got into the pro ranks. I was there. I was in the pit. I had wrenches in my hands. It did not go as well. I had wrenches in my hands for a lot of it. He eventually got a factory ride right before the pro ranks. Didn't go so well. Supercross track, fully built Supercross track in his backyard his entire life. 2-minute lap time, outdoor track in the field across the street, like nasty. Some of the biggest New England riders of all time used to come up from Mass, Connecticut, New York, just to ride at his place. Didn't go so well. Didn't have the discipline, the drive, the character, the work ethic. One of my best friends I'm talking about. That Haiden does. It's so hard, man. I can't speak from experience. I can just speak from living it from the passenger seat. I am so amazed at who this dude is turning out to be, his perspective, how he handles all of the stuff that he's dealt with. My buddy didn't have any of this to deal with. I mean, he was a big deal in New England. He always getting interviewed, always, anytime there was TV coverage or whatever, it was all about him because he was the star. He was the star of our area. And just even that was hard to manage. Even that was hard to keep the ego down. Can you even imagine? When you're in a pit with all guys that are established pros and the entire mob is there for your autograph? I just think that's nuts. But back to the point. The crash tag, this flight risk. Combine dominates. Okay. Minios like I said, the Supercross track, not a Supercross track. Not a Supercross track. So outdoors, the outdoor track. Ask anybody that's raced it, ridiculously gnarly. Like the last moto of the day, I would put up against any track you can find for being the roughest. I mean, it's up there, especially when you consider the layout and the skyscape, the tree lines where the sun sets. Blind, skimming 5-foot deep craters the entire track, trying to just wide open. Goes 6 for 6. One of those motos we saw, everybody knows what I'm talking about, came out dead last. No, he came out 16th. I didn't know that was last out of 40 riders. No. He was 16th at the end of lap 1. There's pictures. I don't know who got them, but people have pictures right in the first turn. You see him and Dax's jerseys in the absolute back of the pack. They both came out dead last. And then he got pushed off the track. Made it to 16th in the first lap. With 10 laps to go, I'm pretty sure he was 20 seconds behind the leader. Leader being, well, no competition. Leader being Benjamin Garib, who got, I think, 23rd in one of the MX and Nations motos. But yeah, definitely. Won the race on the last lap. Somebody that rides over their head and crashes? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how you do that on that track with the sun in your face, coming from last, passing a bunch of kids that are a third of your speed and just making mistakes everywhere. That's pretty impressive for a flight risk kid. That's pretty impressive. I'm not going to lie to you. Okay, so let's leave Minio's after he goes 6 for 6, cleans up everything, wins all the awards. First pro race, because he's done so well there and mainly at the practice track with all the pros every day. Let's go try some pro races. Let's go do the last two, get some gate drops, get an idea of that speed. Because when you're dominating something for so long, you can kind of feel like you're there, you know? It doesn't matter what it is. You feel like you're there, you're ready. It takes being thrown in with the wolves to see, oh, wow, I am a long ways away, right? He had to not see it. He had to live it. He had to feel that. Because at Redbud, him and Eli, I still don't know how this happens. At Redbud, same track layout. It was rougher for the amateurs. Hayden's lap time was the same as Eli's during the pro day. I don't understand that. Maybe somebody can explain it to me. Kind of insane, if you're asking me. I don't know. Ironman, first ever pro moto. Now, I would go into what happened during Jet's first pro races or Ricky's first pro races. You name a legend, tell me what happened early on in their career. I'll wait. I am absolutely not saying he is any of those guys, right? It's so hard to get to that point and then to stay there. That's why there's only a handful of them in history. So we don't know that yet. I don't care how big of a Deegan fan you are. I am as big of a fan of him as you, I promise. I'm just realistic. And this sport is not like the gnarliest, bro. But my point is, first ever pro moto, coming in with all the mental stuff going on, mob of people at the pits, mob of people thinking he's going to go win. And if he doesn't, well, what are you doing? Just completely unrealistic expectations. In 2001, sure. New guy could come in and win. 2023, I'm sorry. That just doesn't. 20th place rides 5 days a week and dedicates his entire life to the sport. 20th place. Those days are so far behind us. So far behind us. First pro race ever. Running, I think, 9th, right? He was 9th, looked really good. He got a really bad start, too, in the way that track is set up. If you don't get a good jump, they're gone before you even know what happened. So, running in 9th, doing really well, and he tried to hop that roller in the back section of Ironman, and everybody saw what happened. He got extremely lucky that his instincts told him to roll with the bike, because that could have been, like, bad. That could have been really bad. But the fact is, he was riding incredible, made a bonehead mistake, and paid for it, right? Not as bad as he could have paid for it, but he paid for it. Second moto, gets taken out in the corner, and then just bonsais the track for 30 minutes, never lifts, never gives up, back there in 20th place or whatever it was, all the way to the checkered. Never went down. Charged the entire moto. Pretty rough day, pretty rough debut when you know what you're going to have to, well, he's not going to hear it, but when you know what the moto world is going to be talking about until the next time you take a gate. Very next weekend, last round of the year, Paula. 10 times rougher than Ironman. Ironman was rough. Paula, over 105 degrees, dry as the desert. Like, go ask anybody that rode there that day. The gnarliest track of the season, without contest. 16th in the first moto. Not a great start, and then got parked. Just kind of, it takes a minute to learn that intensity. That was like the only thing I was good at, was starting. Once we got into the moto, I was basically like current day AC. Whole shot, and then I'll see you later in 10th place. But starting, for some reason, that was just like, I should have drag raced, I guess. That was my thing. It takes a minute to get that, like, out for blood mentality to real, because you want to be safe. You don't want to just, like, bonsai and take yourself out. I watch Kenny start, and I don't care what anybody says about Kenny. It's art. It's art. The way that it doesn't really matter how good of a jump he gets. He just, like, he feels what's around him, and he just wiggles, and all of a sudden he's in third. It's pretty remarkable to watch. So it takes a while to learn that. Got a really bad start, follow Nate Thrasher through the pack, finish 16th. Second moto, last moto of the year, the gnarliest track of the year. Never went down, first moto, by the way. Second moto, 10th place, did not go down. Top 10, second moto ever, second pro race ever. Sorry, fourth moto. Didn't go down, took 10th place, roughest track of the year. Reeled in a bunch of really fast guys, including Hymus, who apparently is way better than Haiden according to everybody, although I think they've raced 5 times. Never finished in front of him. Or maybe he did in the first Palamoto. I'm going to have to go back and look. I don't think so, though. I'm pretty sure he passed him and Ryder, and then again in the second moto, but I could be wrong about the first moto. I know he did in the second one because neither of them were in the top 10. He was. But I don't know. Where does the crash tag come from? Where? Wadded himself in the first ever pro moto. Okay, I'll give you that. And then the Futures race came out of the gate last. He knows it's a 5-minute main event. Tries to go around Bo's plug, hits that rut, gets launched off the bike. Can you tell me who else crashed right there? Can you tell me? Do you remember? Was it Jet? What's his name? Is it Jet Lawrence? Is that his name? Jet Lawrence. Chase Sexton went down, not in the same rut, but right in that same corner. AJ Catanzaro explained it perfectly. Because there was such a big distance between the landing of that finish line double and then the lip of that, or the first lip of the Dragon's Back. It was such a big distance that your suspension completely unloads, so there's no weight on that front tire, and everybody, I mean, so many people crashed there. But I'm just going to bring up Chase Sexton and Jet Lawrence. Jet's crash, Deegan's crash. It's the exact same thing. Haiden actually thought he got taken out, but when he watched it, he realized it was just his mistake. The lean angle had a little bit too much, should have squared it up more, and he knew that. He made a mistake. He was trying to pass Bo's plug for 4th place, launched off the track, had to run back to his bike, start it, take off, okay? 5-minute main event. Where did he finish? 5th place? Who did he pass for the 5th place? Bo's plug? Oh, I mean, on a factory KTM, they were all amateur spec bikes, but you know what I'm talking about. Factory KTM, same thing. Best suspension, mechanic, rider coach. He has everything Haiden has. And what's kind of crazy about that, you want to talk about pressure on a track that was eating everybody alive. Eli Tomac almost ended his career that night just because of the moto gods ended up landing on a tough block. Thank God. Thank the moto gods. Do you know what was up for grabs there? Do you know what was at stake? I don't think a lot of people realize this. He went down passing for 4th. Okay? Put him way back. Time-wise, put him way back. In the Futures class is designed to earn points to go pro, to get your pro license. Haiden needed 3 points coming into the weekend. He needed 3 points to get his pro license. 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th place get 3 points. 6th to like 11th, I think, get 2 points. He doesn't make that pass 100 yards before the finish line. He can't, it doesn't matter what the team wants to do. If he doesn't make that pass for 5th place, he can't race. He doesn't have his license yet. He would have literally not had enough points until the next Futures round if he didn't make that pass right before the finish line. charge to the very end. And then, I mean, you look at tonight. Look, I mean, the track wasn't super crazy, right? It was really fast, which he shines in that kind of techie, like slingshot corners. But that whoop section was no joke, man. I mean, every lap I thought Chase was going to go down. Every lap I thought he was going to go down. I saw everybody just get super sketchy. It was really long, got really beat up. 4th place. Your flight risks got 4th place. I just don't understand where that tag comes from, because I see it all the time. High risk? All the kid has ever done is shown that if he does go down, you better keep your rear view mirror right where it's supposed to be, because he's coming. I promise you he's coming. He's not going to give you 30 seconds at Redbud. I promise. I promise. I think they all have super bright futures. I'm just kind of irritated and over all these narratives. The kid is still super new to a 250. He's 5'8", 145 pounds. Dude, on a 250, a gnarly 250. I don't know, man. So it's going to be a quiet week. You know, unfortunately, I'm anxious to hear the Pulp Show. And Steve's, much like this dude, Steve's super sarcastic, congratulations and whatever else. I usually don't listen to it. I just wait to see if maybe a clip comes out. I don't know. Some people just like the negativity and like I don't know. I know he does a ton for the sport and the privateers. That's awesome. That is such an awesome thing that a human being could do. Our sport needs a bunch of people like that. I just wish he could be more positive. He wouldn't have been faster than McAdoo if McAdoo didn't wad himself in the whoops. Like, that was Kitchen's 5th ever Supercross race. That would be like Haiden getting a win Daytona or whatever the 5th round. You get what I'm saying? You have to be there. That's moto. You have to be there. Do you know how many main events, how many championships have been lost from a crash? One crash? That's moto, bro. You got to be there. If you could just send it and wad yourself and get the same result, well, everybody would just send it and wad themselves. There really wouldn't be any, what would be the separator? The thing that separates is consistency and being there. Go look at the lap time chart. I did. Go look at the lap time chart. I think he got down as low as a 54, but he was like 54.5, 55 every lap. Do you know where that puts him? 4th place. 4th place is where that puts him. So I don't want to hear about the gifts given and all that. That's moto. Go look at the consistency of lap times. And he was there. 4th place. Kind of crazy, man. I'm stoked for the kid. I'm stoked for all those kids. They had a great debut. Kind of bummed to hear Chance isn't going to do the whole series. Why? Him and Ryder were both going to do futures again? I can see if you were an 8th place guy, these dudes have a full year on Haiden on big bikes. A full year on Haiden on big bikes. Dominated the futures class. It was a 2-horse race. Chance versus Ryder. They're both ready. I hope Ryder gets healed up ASAP and is out there, but futures? What are you waiting for? I guess. I don't know. What are you waiting? They both have the speed. What are you waiting for? I think what Chance showed himself last night or tonight, I think that's lethal. What Haiden, all 3 of the 3 top rookies, again, I really struggle with the whole Vial thing. I think he could win races this year because it's mentally nowhere near the hurdle that it is for Talon, Chance, and Haiden. It's nowhere near. He's done it. He's done huge things on a motorcycle. You can't take those championships away. He has earned that. He has achieved a certain amount of success. A 2-time world champion isn't going to wash out the front, lose 4 spots, and all of a sudden get ridiculed. A kid that's been overhyped washes out the front, loses 4 spots. He's going to be drugged through the mud until the next time he does decent. It's just funny, you know, everybody says just log the laps, just do consistency, don't worry about position. But the reality is, if he took 10th last night, he would have got shat on. He would have got shat on. Those haters that are hiding in their little cave, the Karens, they wouldn't be hiding. They would be thriving on that. Oh, so-and-so went down. If that didn't happen, he would have been 11th. Kind of hard to say when he's in 4th place, man. Kind of hard to say. Okay, VL and Jeremy Martin don't go down. 6th place. For a debut? For a debut? Jet's debut, I think he was out for 2 months after, right? Because he face planted into the face. Wasn't that his first Supercross race? When he rode the front wheel into the face of a triple and destroyed his collarbone? That's what kids do. Haiden is a kid. He's not a 22-year-old man. He is a kid. He has not won 2 world championships. He is a kid. I'm not trying to hear it. But for Talon, Chance, and Haiden, could not have gone better. Couldn't have gone better for Vial, honestly. I mean, awesome debut. Because you take that crash out of it, that dude, he's got the speed, he's got the pace, obviously has the endurance. They ride so many laps in MXGPs. So many laps. I think he's going to be a real threat. Outdoors? Oh, he's winning outdoors. Sorry, Hunter. He's winning outdoors. And Jet, you better get comfortable on that 450 quick, because if that dude is staying here, if he's here to stay, good luck, everybody. Good luck. Supercross, I think it's so many things can happen in Supercross. That's why you really don't see anybody really establish themselves till the 450s. Jet is an anomaly. I have a video about how I feel about Jet. Go check that out. But yeah, man, this whole thing just gets me kind of fired up because for one, I had every single crusty VHS. I almost said DVD. There was no DVDs. I had every single crusty VHS. I still do. I don't have a VCR to play them in, but I have the movies. I was raised by Metal Militia, Deegan. My wife was telling the kids last night, we were watching the race. She's like, when I met your dad, he had a Metal Militia hat on backwards. The first time we ever met. Like, oh yeah, where is that hat? But so I guess I inherited this kid, man. I'm now a huge fan of Haiden. I just want to see him succeed. I was so nervous on that gate drop last night. I'm like, he's going to get taken out. He's going to go over that tunnel jump and just get yeeted off the track. I just already know it. Nope. No, none of the above, man. Had a sketchy moment in the whoops, but other than that, he rode 20 plus 1 or 15 plus 1 perfect laps. Perfect laps. For a debut, perfect laps. I just think it's so impressive. I think it's so impressive. I'm so stoked for the rest of this season. I hope Honda changes their mind. What happens if something happens to Hunter? You bring Chance back in to get comfortable all over again? I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that at all. Keep him on the bike. Keep him getting gate drops. Let him get better. Let him figure out his breathing more. All those kids. I 1,000,000% agree with what Ricky said. All those rookies are going to get better every single week because it's all up here. They're all the best of the best when it comes to riding. They're all the best of the best when it comes to riding. You take that crowd out of the picture and you just throw them all on a track, say, go have fun. They're all the best of the best. They are as good as anybody. The practice days show it. They are as good as anybody. It's all up here. That is such a big hurdle. That's why Star Racing has him out there. That's why Husky has Talon out there. Well, and because Jalik, heel up Jalik. Such a bummer, man. But yeah, I don't know. I hear things like this dude and Mathis and all the comments and it's just a bummer. I just don't understand. I can't imagine wishing poorly on a kid that all he does is work. All he does is work. Everybody's big gripe with him is he's so overhyped. You are the hype. You are the hype. You're literally shatting on a 16-year-old kid who has done nothing but work his tail off his entire life, and he's just trying to do good at something that he loves. And that irks you because he has a big following. Grow up, dude. Grow up. Are you serious? He's 17. Sorry. He's 17, not 16. I just don't get it. You're the hype. The comment sections are the hype. He is not the hype. He's just doing his work. The kid has been living in a motorhome at the farm for however many months now. He wants this. He wants to be great at this. And you guys just overhyped. I wish he didn't do so well. And yeah, I took it out of context. The context was I wish he wouldn't have done so well so it didn't overshadow Chance. Chance almost got the whole shot. Haiden started in 9th. He also said that. Yeah, Haiden did it. He got a good start and rode better lap times. No. Chance had the lead like in grasp. Chance practically got the whole shot. Deegan was in 9th. I remember seeing it on the position board. Specifically, he was in 9th place. Chance was right there for the lead. Go look at where they finished, but not position. Look at the time gap. Why does it bother you so much? Why does it... And then, whoever Saucy Dad is... Whoever Saucy Dad is really ruffled his feathers when he reminded him they've only raced a couple times. Why? Because he's been a full year behind Chance all through amateurs. And the handful of times they've raced together, I don't know. Go look at the results. I don't know. I think both of their futures are equally as bright. I'm not going to say one is better than the other one. Show me where Deegan is 1 year from today. And we'll compare that to where Chance is today. That's the only fair comparison. You can't compare them right now. Give Deegan 1 year, and then we'll see where that compares to Chance right now. Not Chance in another year, because he's still a year ahead of him. And at this age, once you're 25, 26, you're years into your career, experience, the value kind of gets less and less and less. You learn what you learn, and you find your groove. You learn what helps and what doesn't. You figure out how to maneuver through the day and the week. But at this age, dude, a year? When you're talking about 16-year-olds, a year? Or when you're Vial, 5 years? Like, dude, I don't know. I would think this would be common sense. I see a wedding ring on this guy's finger. I would think that would be common sense to adults. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just they hate Brian. They just super jealous. I don't know. I have no idea what it is, because I can't imagine as a grown man wishing that this kid, who everything that you hate him for is nothing to do with him, you're just sitting there wishing he didn't do as well. I don't know, bro. I got nothing for you. Super stoked for next weekend. Let me know what you guys think is going to happen in Tampa. I think if talking about Deegan, I think if he can top 10 again and just stay on 2 wheels, I know it's going to be hard. He is as competitive a kid that you can find on planet Earth, okay? When that gate drops, he's a racer. You saw it. I was really, really impressed that he didn't fight Jordan Smith when he was coming back by him. He wanted to. You could see that he wanted to. But the team told him, we're not letting you do this unless you promise to make it a learning experience. Not going out there to break yourself. Because they all know him. They all know him. He refuses to lose. And I think he'll do well again. It's in Florida. That's cool. No travel, much different circumstances. But I really hope, not that Brian says it to him, not that the team, because everybody's going to tell him the same thing. I just hope that he can like really grasp how valuable getting every round in would be. I don't care if you're 12th. I don't care. I don't care. Let these goons do whatever it is that they got to do. Let them get their views and build their channels. Let them do what they got to do. You just get every lap. Make them all eat their freaking shoes, because you're going to get every lap. Outdoors, I think he's going to be super competitive. I really do. That's the funny thing, is everybody says he's got all the Supercross experience. He's a way better outdoor rider. He is so good outdoors. He is just psychotic. Psychotic on an outdoor track. I think he's going to be really competitive. But if you get every round in this year and then line up for real next year with a 2-digit number, but you got to get every round in, because if you wad yourself in qualifying next weekend and miss the rest of the season, you didn't gain anything this year. You really didn't. You're going to be stuck in that same monotonous recovery, training, practice track loophole. He's got it. They all do. I think there's a pretty clear reason why I'm talking about Haiden specifically, but everything I'm saying goes for all these kids. Chance, Talon, and Haiden. The other guys, I think they have talent and potential, but I don't think they're at the level of Hymas, Hawkins, and Haiden. Not yet. Not yet. Not to say they can't be, but not yet. Wow. Vial is above their level. Got to make sure I bring him up, because he's a rookie, two-time world champion. Anyways, man, if anybody did watch this to the end, you're a legend. You're an absolute legend. Okay? What can we do? I want to make fun of some people. So if you made it this far, I want you to drop in the comments, I hope Haiden cooks. Huh? I hope Haiden cooks Tampa. I hope he cooks. So if you made it this far, let me know in the comments by dropping that. I hope Haiden cooks. And shout out to all the goons. Thanks for firing me up and giving me something to talk about. Great job to Haiden, to Hymas, to Hawkins, to all the guys, to Hunter. Hunter was on a ton of pressure tonight. He executed and did his thing. Jordan Smith had a moment in the sand. To be expected, the sand was killing everybody. Chase looked really uncomfortable. If it wasn't for that sand section, I think Chase wins that race by 20 seconds. But Eli's sand, it's eventually going to figure itself out, and it did. Great night of racing. Great everything. I loved it. Absolutely loved the entire thing. Can't wait for next weekend. I'm going to tell you right now, if he does get every lap, talking Haiden again, if he gets every lap from now to Daytona, look out. Mark my words, bro. It would not surprise me at all to see that 238 and the 128 on that podium in Daytona. Would not surprise me at all. I think Vial probably wins Daytona, but you're going to see what I'm talking about with the outdoor thing in Daytona. Just watch. Remember I said this. Appreciate you guys. Subscribe to the channel, man. I know it's going to be slow going because I'm not trying to build off of thumbnails and clickbait. And, well, I am going to clickbait you. 100% going to clickbait you. You have to get any views. So at first, we're going to do the same thing all these other guys do. We're going to put Haiden in the thumbnail. We're going to put some stupid thing. We're just going to do it. We're going to do it. But negativity sells, positivity doesn't. That's just kind of the unfortunate fact of the matter. So it's going to be a slow process. But I appreciate you guys. Hit that subscribe button, man. Turn on the bell so you know when I upload these videos. Let me know if you guys want to talk about anything else. If there's any other hot topics going around. Or what your feedback is about this. Because there's a lot to talk about here. And while we have the week to ourselves, with all the squids and the goons and the Karens all in their little caves, it might be 2 weeks. God forbid he goes out there and just gets every lap in Tampa, it's going to be another week. That's going to be rough. You know, that's going to be rough. Because even if it's not his fault, we all know, like this guy said about Vial just made a silly mistake. He's obviously way better than them. He just made a silly mistake and fell backwards. Go ahead and tell me what he would have said if the roles were reversed. Do you think that's what he says? Do you think that's what he says? Oh, Haiden just made a simple mistake. He riding incredible up until that, but that's no big deal. Do you think he would have gotten that same treatment? Do you? Yeah, I don't think so. Oh, these goons make my day. Anyways, appreciate you guys, man. Peace out.